What's going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Schneid. It's Friday night. We're gonna rip a couple drafts here. The Eliminator style. Let's dig right into it. No need to really chit chat too much. There's not much going on in the world of NFL right now. So let's just dig right into it. Let's jump into some eliminators. We could talk through some strategy. Obviously, that's a little different strategy. There's really nothing to draft. I'll get my Greyhound in at some point. I'm hoping it can last until mandatory minicamp opens up next week. So I'm not doing my Greyhound. Maybe I'll do a stream. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But I'm just gonna try to hold off as long as I can, sort of a thing. Pugs are maxed out, did it all in one stream. That's a fun tournament. I've been ripping some weekly winners, but we're here for some eliminators. Really fun tournament. Let's do 30 seconds. We'll see. We might have to go into a 20-second, but let's jump into a 30-second eliminator. We'll see if there's enough people in the chat that want to rip it to fill one, but we'll see. Hartman, what's happening, man? Appreciate you coming in. We got Green Bean. Thanks for coming in tonight. Stephen Hines, how you doing? How many am I in on the eliminator? Let's take a look. Not a lot. Probably like 7. Yeah, 7. 7 eliminators. I meant to date them, I guess, but I didn't. So that's fine. Wonder what my eliminator exposure is looking like. Darnell Mooney. Wow. A lot of Darnell Mooney. Jerry Jeudy. That makes sense. I like Jerry Jeudy in this tournament, in this structure. Otten, I think he's a huge value in this tournament. Audric Estime, I did at one point think was a good value. Mind you, J.K. Dobbins hasn't signed yet, so that's kind of a good thing. We'll see how it goes. But if you're just popping in and you want to draft, I'm on the clock on a few slows. That's cool. We're doing a 30-second eliminator, not a 20, 30-second eliminator. So we're 7 deep. That's. I'd like to get probably 100 of these is probably what I'd like to do. 150 max, $10. That's nice. Like I said in the description there, like the sweat starts week 9, basically. That would be a really fun sweat is where it starts. I think it's right here. We're 192 left, week 9, $1,000 guaranteed. And then obviously it just, extrapolates from there. Obviously the 200K up top, 3-person final, correct? Yeah, 3-person final. So you make the finals 76K, 200K for first. I mean, even, top 12 would be wild, 20K, top 24, 10K. That'd be pretty sweet. But the sweat starts early. That's kind of what I was getting at. That would be like, I think you need to get out of the first pod, obviously, and then out of your week 2 matchup, and then week 3, you're basically making your money back. So it's just the sweat starts so early, and then it just gets really interesting. It gets really fun pretty quick. So I really like this structure. 1 of 2. 50% advance rates the whole time. It's just a really fun tournament, really fun sweat, fun structure, and a different strategy. So that's kind of what we'll get into as we talk through it. We're waiting on 30-second clock on the eliminator. Putt Daddy, what's happening, man? Thanks for coming in. Steve, how you doing? I'm doing well. We got a little vino over here, a little wine for the Friday night. A little bit of the wedding red. We still got about a case of that stuff. So I'm the only one that can drink it right now with the wife pregnant. So, yeah, trying to be nice husband and not drink so much. So there you go. I'm doing well though. Appreciate that. Hartman, I'm also leaning towards 100 limbs. Yeah. I think I might. We ripped a sprint. Last night I guested on the Fantasy Dog Pound. We ripped a sprint and it was pretty interesting, pretty fun. I might get some sprints in, just a few, just to have another fun little sweat there. Weeks 15, 16, 17. You get a couple, even if you have like 2 in the final, right? Like you get out of your pod, you're in the final. That's the cool thing about it. So Like I did 150 best ball manias. I had 28 that advanced. So that right there would have been pretty fun to have 28 sweats. I'm not going to get that many of it in. It's still a $20 buy-in tournament, but I might talk myself into like 25 or something. I think I might get a few of the sprints in, but I think 100's a good one. Aaron Sandy, what's up, man? Yo, yiggity yo, what's happening? Appreciate you coming in here. Just jumped in the elim. Appreciate you, Steve. That just makes it that much harder. So I don't know if I do appreciate that, but good. Thanks for coming in. King of Kings, Frank, how are you doing, man? How you doing? Win-win. That's right. We're trying. We're trying. Is that we got BBG in the picture now? Mustache BBG. I like it. Fancy drafts tonight. That's right. A little ancillary stuff, doing some different stuff. You know, I'm trying to get my numbers up. I want to probably get like 50 weekly winners, probably 100 eliminators, and at least I think I'm kind of talking myself into 50 sprints, maybe 25. We'll see how it goes, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not doing any marathons, that's for sure. If I was going to draft that way, I would draft on drafters. So I'm not doing any marathon, and no one's going to talk me into that. But doing the sprint yesterday, that was kind of fun. It's a cool sweat. So yeah, I'm gonna give that. I'm gonna probably get a few of those in there. You a pinky out kind of guy? Oh, am I? Did I out myself? I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to see. I'll have to try to catch myself to see if I'm doing it. Hey, 6 of us make it through the first round. That's true. Like it's 50% advance rate, right? So, you know, if I can't, you know, 50% out of 12, like shouldn't be streaming, I guess. I just meant fancy due to the wine. Yeah, I'm a big wine guy, man. I'm a big wine guy. Shout out Neil Orfield. He's a big wine guy as far as I've seen on his streams. So big wine guy. There's always wine in this house where we got a bit of a European flavor. My wife is Czech. So there's always wine in the household for the most part. We do a lot of champagne as well, a lot of bubbles. So yeah, it is what it is. I like wine though. I'm big wine fan. Big wine fan. UD better drop more promos if they want me to draft marathons. Yeah. Even that promo wasn't enough. Like you're spending what, $90 to get 25 or something. So that wasn't enough to entice me personally. I just don't have really interest in the marathon. If I was going to draft that way, I would just head to drafters and draft on that platform. They do it well. It's a different strategy, 20 rounds as well. So I'd probably, if I wanted to draft that format, I would draft on drafters. I just don't want to draft that format. If I'm being honest, it's just a completely different strategy. Not that it's that much different than the Eliminator strategy. So good segue there. Let's talk about that. Like I said, 50% advance rate for the whole thing, you know, which is crazy considering there's almost 200,000 entries. Right? 196,000 entries, and we're 50% advance rate in every round, which is, 17 rounds, but in every round, the worst advance rate is, the final where it's 3, 1 of 3 technically, but you've already won, $76,000. So you're feeling pretty good. But either way, 1 of 2, it should make for some fun, like matchups, I would imagine. I hope. I'm sure there will be, let's say me versus Fantasy Dog Pound, me versus BBG or any of the Teufel Tower guys, right? That would be fun. Face Chess Liam, face Herzeg, something like that. Like it would make for some good content. Definitely go through it. Like I don't stream during the NFL season, but I might do a pop-up stream if something like that's going on. That would be fun. Just a little pop-up, maybe rip some BRs or something stupid just for fun, and then talk through the matchup on an eliminator. That would be fun. So yeah, that might happen during the NFL season, where I don't typically make content, but it'd be fun if those kind of matchups are lining up, then, get them on, have some co-stream stuff like that. So yeah, that'd be a good time. Need a little cheese with that wine. Why? I don't know why you're asking that in a question. Is that like a sexual innuendo, or what are we doing here? I'm more of a whiner than a wine guy. Yeah, fair enough. disbanded. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Initiate the AI over there. Yeah, we're waiting on 30-second eliminator. 30-second clock eliminator is what we're doing. We're waiting on one. So as far as strategy, we know quarterbacks are very, very important when it comes to advance rate in just Best Ball Mania structure. 3-4 quarterback builds are very, very good for advance rate, right? Which is going to be important in this tournament. I don't know off the top of my head, but yes, the ADPs are slightly pushed up when we're talking about this structure. So ADPs are different, that's for sure. We're filled. Let's see what we got. We got Steve in the 1 spot. I got Drew the 2 spot, so that feels nice with the running backs there. Putt Daddy in the 3 spot. We're going to be just sniping each other here. We got Frank in the 5 spot. Hartman, right, is in the 9 spot. I always get that mixed up, Hartman, with your name and your underdog name. We got Green Bean in the 10 spot. Appreciate you. And then I forget this guy's name. Latomsky, David, right? Isn't it Dave? Probably lurking in the chat somewhere, I'd imagine. We got a couple badge lists, so we'll see how that goes. If I didn't name you and you're in the draft, let me know, and we'll have some fun with that. I suck at Eliminator right now. Fair enough. Maybe everybody does. Maybe everybody's awesome at it. I don't know. What up in Super JT Best Ball? Appreciate you coming in. I'll be guest spotting on JT Best Ball's channel, and next week I think we said Wednesday, so that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. Looking forward to that. Go subscribe to JT Best Ball. If you want to fire your YouTube channel in the chat, JT, go nuts, throw it in there, and go subscribe to him over there. I mean, I was going to take a running back, but if Jamar Chase is there, like, I can't quit Jamar Chase. Like, look behind me. What do you want from me? I'll take Jamar Chase at 2 every day of the week. It's not a bad strategy by Steve there, going with Barkley. Like, don't get me wrong. I was expecting to take probably Bijan is where I would have went on that. But if I can get Chase at 2, then dang. Yeah, it's me at 9. I'm sneaking the UD streets and the underdog streets. It's just the name difference. Anytime someone has a different name, an underdog, than they do in the chats for YouTube, it's always like, I can't remember who everybody is. Like Green Bean, know that, obviously. Putt Daddy makes sense. King of Kings. Steve makes sense. But yeah, we caught you. Yeah, it's Dave, right? I think we got Dave in the 12 spot. I believe it's Dave is your first name. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm multi-tabling, doing a super flex at the same time, so this will be interesting. At least you're on the end. You're on your back-to-back picks. You're on the end of the draft. You can usually plan ahead and make your picks that way. Yeah, go subscribe over to JT Best Ball over here. He's just getting rolling, so I'll be over there on Wednesday night. I'm not sure what we're doing, what we're drafting, but we'll have fun regardless. It'll be a good time. Dontavion Lutomsky. Dontavion, not David. I like that. So yeah, and even just with the ADPs here, we could tell Christian McCaffrey's pushed up, Derrick Henry's pushed up, which makes sense. That makes sense in this tournament, in this strategy. So, and then quarterbacks as well. So it makes sense. That's what leads to higher advance rates in Best Ball Mania or any regular tournament that leads to higher advance rates, right? So clearly that's what we're trying to do in this structure. So basically you're trying to avoid injuries to your big players, and it is what it is. If the injuries are going to happen, right? So hopefully you build out some depth, and then you can, survive those injuries, because your opponents are going to get injuries as well, right? You're only facing one other team. There's going to be injuries on both sides of these, matchups. So, good luck trying to avoid injuries. If you do, wonderful. You're going to be able to, advance late into this tournament, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm worst 51 D3 and DK. A lot of 5s in there. I don't do any DK, so I don't know. I hear it's just nuts over there. I don't know. I don't do any DraftKings drafting personally. Just don't need it. If I win Best Ball Mania, I'll probably draft over on DraftKings, but right now I just don't feel like I need it. Bindles, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming in. looking fucking swolt on the Twitter machine earlier today. I saw a gym picture of Bindles. Jeez, dude's looking fucking swolt over there. I tried to change it, but they won't let me. Yeah, they don't. I want to change my DK name too, but yeah, it is what it is. Bindles, what up? Pookie says, that room is shark fested waters for sure. Yeah, it is. But yeah, it is. Luckily, it's 6 of 12. Like Steve said, luckily it's 6 of 12 and give us a shot. You know what I mean? Because usually these eliminator rooms are pretty sharp for the most part. But again, I haven't done too many. I should probably upload my exposures. I think I have this on. I have it on the Schnauzer. I want it on all tournaments. I'm going to put my best ball overlay. Shout out best ball overlay. Promo code OTS in the description. I'm not going with more Bengals. I'm just not. Probably towards injury avoidance. Perfect. That's what we need you to do, T. Higgins. I'm not going Bengals this early. I'm going to bring in Garrett Wilson here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it really makes a crazy amount of sense. Like, if anything, you could go T. Higgins and Steve does it. I don't know if I hate that or love that. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to bring in Josh Allen. I don't think I've drafted him yet in this structure. So I'm going to bring him in, and he just gives me the highest floor and highest ceiling in a week-to-week basis. And that's what you're looking for in this structure. So right there, having Josh Allen, that's going to give me a pretty good potential to advance, not only out of this pod, but every single week, right? So if you can avoid Josh Allen when you're head-to-head and you have Josh Allen, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. But there's going to be some dupes, I think, especially at the onesie positions like quarterback, tight end. There's going to be some dupes along the line. It's just a matter of trying to avoid those the other teams. Yeah, if anything, I might have done like Higgins instead of Garrett Wilson, I suppose, and then bring in Burrow. I don't know if that makes sense in this structure, if I'm being honest, but maybe it does. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe Billy Jones is someone to talk to about that. Big brain Billy Jones. Worst side says disbanded. How are you viewing elite tight end elim? I view it as a better strategy than I do Best Ball Mania. What's Trey McBride? He went 29th in this. That feels like it's a good deal. 26. I think that's a little lower than his Best Ball Mania ADP. But I'd be more inclined to click elite tight end in this structure than I would in Best Ball Mania. No question. Because yes, it does give you that high ceiling advantage at a onesie position. And that's where I think it's going to come down to in these tournaments, having the Josh Allens, Lamar Jacksons, Brock Bowers, that sort of a thing. I think that's what's going to be the difference in this tournament. So again, if I have Josh Allen and my opponent does not, basically no matter who he has, unless it's like Lamar, literally just Lamar, then I have an advantage at quarterback week in, week out. Same thing can be said with tight end. If you have Brock Bowers, unless they have Brock Bowers or literally just Trey McBride, you have a big advantage at that onesie position. And that can be the difference between winning and losing, really. Like, that could be the difference of 10 points, quarterback wise and tight end wise. That could be the difference of winning or losing your weekly matchup. So I would be inclined to prioritize it. I don't think, like, the other part of that is you could bring in 3 tight ends late still, like I do a lot, and everyone does a lot in BBM. And I still think that that's a good strategy as well. Because you're hedging, as long as you can get 10 points, like double-digit points week in, week out of your tight end position, even if the opponent's tight end puts up 20, like, you're probably able to make that up somewhere else. If you, like, at let's say Jonathan Taylor or Bucky or Josh Jacobs, right? You're likely to be able to make that up at another position like running back, wide receiver, where you prioritize that early. If that all makes sense. It's a bunch of fucking word salad. I agree. But I just think that either strategy can work. Clearly, this guy's going bully tight end. I don't despise that strategy when you have the tight end, or sorry, you have the quarterback and you have a, CeeDee Lamb, then it can definitely work. I do want to go with Hampton here. I just think it makes, I can't get too far behind at running back. So let's bring in Hampton for sure. I don't care about stacking week 15, 16, 17. I really, really don't. So just take the best. That's another thing. Take the best player available. Watch your bye weeks. You definitely got to be a bit of a bye week bro in this structure. And then I'm going to go Joe Burrow here. Or sorry, Joe Burrow. I was looking at Steve picking Joe Burrow. I'm going to go Jameson Williams here. I think he's the best click. If not, it's DJ Moore. But early bye week 5, that's not the end of the world. But I don't think there's a crazy amount of difference between Jameson Williams and DJ Moore. I'm pretty high on Jameson Williams this year. But yeah. Again, a lot of word salad there, but that's kind of I think it's a strategy that you can definitely employ in the Eliminator for sure. Even this strategy, like I said right here, this bully tight end strategy is not the worst idea. I wouldn't mind getting a few of those in my Eliminator portfolio. You know what I mean? Maybe not quite 2 of my first 4 picks, but in that vein, if you will. Who do we like more, Josh Downs or Ayuk? I mean, depends on the structure. Like, are we talking just BBM? If it's BBM, depends on how you're drafting. Like if Ayuk is your 5th wide receiver, that can be, pretty okay. If you started like, let's say, I don't know, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, T Higgins, or, Rashee Rice or whatever, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, and Rashee Rice or Tyreek, something like that. And then, Ayuk is your 5th wide receiver, then you're in a good spot. Like in a vacuum, who do I think scores more overall fantasy points this year? Probably Josh Downs, just because Brandon Ayuk has the injury, impending, and he's probably not going to start the season healthy. So depends on how you're drafting realistically, but in a vacuum, give me Josh Downs. I'm quite high on Josh Downs this year, especially with what seems to probably be Daniel Jones. Like, I think Josh Downs gets a bit of a bump with Daniel Jones, but he doesn't really get a bump down with Anthony Richardson. So if Daniel Jones is the quarterback, for the entire season, which is extremely possible, then I think Josh Downs is a massive value where he's going. I'm pretty high on Josh Downs, quite high. Bindles get you swole on. Yeah, man, he was looking svelte in there, making Emo Cowboy proud on his Twitter post there. I like McBride in the 3rd. I usually end up with 3 tight ends no matter what. Yeah, that's fair. Like, that's a good, again, like, that's a quality strategy in this structure. Like, it's very quality in this structure. Tight ends, 3 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks, solid running backs, very, very, very important when we're talking about advance rate. And that's all we're trying to do. Are you glad J.K. Dobbins didn't sign in Denver? I'm glad he hasn't yet. It's not over yet. Like, he could sign today still. He could sign tonight. He could sign tomorrow. It's not over yet, but I am happy that so far I have dodged the J.K. Dobbins to Denver. So hopefully it continues. Hopefully he does not make it through, or make it there, not get signed there. I did show my 7 Eliminator so far, and I have quite a bit of Audric Estimate. I have quite a bit of Audric Estimate everywhere, but I think this tournament, he's very valuable, just fall into the end zone kind of a running back. The longer he's not part of the Denver Broncos, the better off it is for me, but I won't draft him until we get some clarity on that whole situation. Judkins would have been a solid click. I don't mind Judy here one bit. I think he's a massive kind of tier break. I'll take the ADP value. Let's go Jerry Judy. And then we'll see who kind of falls to us. Laporte is not a bad click in this tournament. I think he's got a high floor, but I don't think I'm going to go down that road with Jameson Williams already on the roster. I would have liked Caleb Johnson on this team. Shakir could make some sense, but I really don't care. I'm actually glad. I would not have taken Shakir. It's DeAndre Swift for me regardless. So, yep. Let's just do that. I got to start coming around a little more on DeAndre Swift and maybe Roshan Johnson. Emo Cowboy, what's happening, brother? Thanks for coming in. Hit the like, smash the sub. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, you're just popping in, you're just seeing the show, seeing the channel, you like the content, you're sticking around, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind, and hit the like button if you don't mind. Sun's out, guns out up north. Yeah, it's like 30 degrees up here, which I don't know what that means down there, but or like 26. I got my sprinkler on, I got the shorts cut off. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta, yeah, we're warm for where I'm at right now. It's fire season right now. It's burning up here. Kind of always is in the summers, but DJ Moore will feed families probably. I don't mind DJ Moore at all. Like, he might have been the correct click, but I'm really high on Jameson Williams this year personally. I'm really, really high, maybe too much to be honest with you, but we'll see. I need to, and it's a different structure in this one. Alberta's Finest, appreciate you. You think AD Mitchell is going to do anything? Honestly, I think AD Mitchell is a tough click personally. Like, even in Daniel Jones's best career season, he threw for what, like 2,700 yards or something like that. Let's check it if it's still even on there. 15 touchdowns, 20 something 100 yards, 32. All right, 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. Like, I just don't think there's going to be enough to go around. In my opinion, he's going to need 2 injuries or that offense to just be like unbelievably, surprisingly good out of nowhere. So I don't see it personally. We'll see what happens in training camp. Like, obviously, again, if there's an injury, yeah, something can happen, but he's going to need some injuries. I think more than one. Realistically, there's no way, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I don't think he can beat out anybody. I don't think he can beat out Josh Downs. I don't think he can beat out Alec Pierce for what his role is, and I don't think he can beat out Michael Pittman. And that's the role that I think AD Mitchell would be the best at in that offense, would be Michael Pittman's role. So if that back injury or back, I think it was a back injury, if it springs up again or it's bad, it hurts, he can't get back, he's injured, whatever, then yeah, AD Mitchell could sneak in right there. So I guess he's maybe one injury away, and it's a Michael Pittman injury away, but I just don't think that the offense is a high enough volume passing offense to support like the number 4 wide receiver sort of a thing. Let's just bring in Justin Fields. That's a pretty easy click right here. I'm done at quarterback with those two, and it pairs up with Garrett Wilson, which I think makes a lot of sense. So let's just do that. We're done at quarterback now, and I can feel pretty good. Usually I like to go 3 quarterbacks, but if I have Josh Allen and Justin Fields, like, you got to feel pretty good about that. So we're done there. I definitely wouldn't mind some running back situation, though Hawkinson might be a pretty good click right here, way behind ADP. Steve might take Hawkinson. If he doesn't, then yeah, that's a good click by Steve. Then let's just double up with Najee Harris here. I think this is a viable strategy in this structure. Number one, it's by week 12. Number two, it's an extremely high-powered rushing offense. So give me the 2 guys that can fall into the end zone, in the same week. They could both crack my lineup potentially, but either way, I just want one of them to crack my lineup every single week, besides obviously week 12. So that's what I'm banking on. I think that could be a viable strategy as well, like handcuffing in an extremely good rushing offense, like I know the Chargers are. So let's do that. 76 to 80-ish. Yeah. That's pretty warm for you guys, isn't it? Maybe not where you live, Emo, in Sweaty Balls, Houston, Swass, Houston. Just imagine AD Mitchell deep down the field wide open, then the ball sails over his head or he drops it. Yeah. Sounds like their offense, right? So I don't know. I just don't see it. Like I've clicked him here and there, like very sparingly. I think it could work out, but I think he needs a lot of luck to go his way. Or again, if Michael Pittman gets injured, okay, then you can definitely talk me into AD Mitchell for sure. If Josh Downs gets injured, I don't think so, because we kind of saw that last year with Josh Downs. He was a little banged up, and AD didn't really thrive in any way. He didn't come in and take over that role. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I could see that. I like talking at that value, no doubt. Like I probably would have clicked him, but I'm glad you did, honestly, because when I clicked Hampton as my first running back there, I was like, I'm taking Najee. As soon as I clicked Hampton, I was like, I have to get Najee in on this team. I have to, because you don't want to be sitting there with Najee Harris in the eliminator and Hampton's just going off, right? Or sorry, you don't want to be sitting there with Hampton that early of a pick and Najee's going off for 2 touchdowns, right? So, I'm kind of glad you did, because that would have been tough. I mean, I kind of had to have clicked Hawkinson at that value, but I was very, very, very sold on taking Najee Harris there. So I'm kind of glad you did it. I don't know who Benson Boone is, but that sounds like an interesting conversation. Why is more going later in drafts than last year, when we were expecting the Bears, who added major additions, to have a better season than last year? Yeah, I don't know. Like he's a value. I don't seem to get him very much. Like he's not going. Where did he go in this draft? But this is different ADPs, obviously. I was going to take him here. Oh, wow. That is pretty far down in this. Yeah, I agree with that a little bit. We'll circle back on that in a second here. Coleman probably would have been the click, but I really don't care if I'm naked Josh Allen. I really don't mind that. I think it's Mark Andrews here, but I think that's definitely the click. Yeah, let's go Mark Andrews for that high floor and high ceiling, but mostly high floor tight end at a little bit of a discount. Yeah, I'll take that. That makes a lot of sense. Not quite the discount that Steve got on Hawkinson, full 10 picks, but we got 5 picks. We got 5 picks of value on Mark Andrews. I'll take that. I don't think I need another tight end here. But I don't mind taking another running back here. Question is who? It was going to be Rachaad White. Great pick, Steve. Great pick. I was gonna pull up Rachaad White right there. God, that's why I don't want these guys on my left. I guess it's like I take a shot on Bashal Tootin here. Or do I just bring in my guy Kyle Williams? I don't think that is actually a good click. Let's go Christian Kirk. I really am not going to need him like this early anyways, so week 6 is fine. Yeah. But fucking Steve, hey? Why is more going late? Yeah, I don't know. Like that, I kind of tend to agree. Like I don't get a crazy amount of DJ Moore, not for lack of trying, because I absolutely would be clicking DJ Moore if he was in the range, for me. I don't know what my exposure is. Let's take a look. Let's take a quick peek over here at what my DJ Moore exposure is. 100 drafts now. 6%, $48. Yeah, I need to bump those numbers up for sure. Because I agree with that sentiment. Like I'm heavily invested in Rome Odunze, but realistically, just the Bears offense. I already bet the Bears to win that division. Parlayed it up, $250 bet for $16,000 payout. So I'm heavily invested in the Bears this year. So I do agree with this. I've seen your girlfriend props. Eh? How often am I taking Zach Moss? 0. I have zero exposure. Henry, I think that's the first time I've seen you in the chat, so I appreciate you coming in. I'm not taking any Zach Moss. I'm taking a tiny bit of Taj Brooks, although I'll be the first to tell you it's Zach Moss, not Taj Brooks as the backup. So if you're going to take a backup or a handcuff Cincinnati Bengal running back, it is Zach Moss. That's how the Bengals run things. So if you want to take him, but I just don't think there's value in taking Zach Moss. I think that if there's an injury, the value will be in Taj Brooks if there's an injury to Chase Brown. And there's always that injury risk to Zach Moss because of the injury that he had, the back injury. Very concerning with running backs. Very, very concerning. It was a neck injury, but it caused Chris Carson to retire. Neck, not back, way worse, way different. But back injuries can be pretty finicky for running backs. They're easy to, reoccur. So I'm taking 0 Zach Moss, and I don't think that'll change. And I'm not really taking much Taj Brooks either. And at the price, I'm not really taking much Chase Brown either. So I'm not drafting a lot of Bengals running backs right now, personally. We'll see if that could change as we move through the summer, but that's my take right now. Andrew's a great value right now. I agree with that. Justin Bruni, thanks for coming in, man. Shout out Best Ball Jeopardy. I'm moving on in the second round. We'll see if I can make it through another round. If I got another comeback in me, we'll see. But shout out those guys. They're killing it over there in the fan speak. Steve as well. I'm sure he's laughing about me bitching about him taking Rachaad White from under me. But shout out those guys are doing a great job. Go subscribe to those guys over there. It's a really fun thing they got going on with the Jeopardy. Pulling it back up, knew they weren't coming back for sure. Yeah, I was taking Rachaad White right there. If you didn't, I think he's a great pick in this structure. I think it makes just too much sense. Who we going with here again? Definitely not quarterback. Kincaid might have been a click, but not even because of the bye week. So I wouldn't have taken Kincaid regardless. Huge amount of value on Mims, but he is not a spectacular click in this tournament. I think it's got to be Bigsby, and I just have to hope that he's the goal line type of a back. He's just the best running back option for the team. Way more efficient than anyone else on that roster last year. So let's take Tank Bigsby and hope that works out. What's the note? On field for OTAs for Garendo. Cool. I would assume so. I don't really want to take Eckler here with the bye week issues. I guess it has to be Algier or Benson. I'm going to have to throw some volume at this running back room due to a little bit of bye week issue and just thinness. So that's okay. I like my wide receivers a lot, so that gives me a lot of running room or runway to get away with it, but we'll see how this kind of shakes out. We're 5 more picks. I want to throw at least 2 more probably running backs in that room, but we'll kind of see how that shakes out. Odunze and Burden, both good values. I agree with that. I think Odunze for sure. I'm probably the biggest Odunze slappy in the space right now. So yeah, I'm all in on Odunze. I don't mind Burden either. He's falling now, which works for me. Falling to a range that I like a lot more. So I would agree with this statement. T-Law, someone just shoot me now. What happened, Putt Daddy? You get sniped or did you auto draft him? Or was that your first? No, you got Lamar. What's wrong with that? You're good. You're in a good spot. Was it auto draft? I think that's a good click. Nothing wrong with T-Law. I like T-Law. Kyle Williams might be Pat's wide receiver week 1. Bruh, everybody knows how high I am on Kyle Williams, man. I've literally hinged my entire brand on Kyle fucking Williams. So I am completely red pilled on Kyle Williams. So yeah, you don't need to give me this, more of this because I'm already there. It's already probably too much, if I'm being honest with you. It's probably borderline too much exposure and buy-in. But yeah, that was the dumbest bet you could have made with the Vikings and Detroit in there. Fair enough, man. We disagree on that. We disagree. 7.5 to 1. They're down to 5.5 to 1 right now. So I've already gotten some good value on it. I think the Bears are a fucking wagon this year personally, but obviously you disagree. That's fine. Bindles has a good one. There you go. Henry Seagal. Appreciate you, man. No worries. No worries. They might disown themselves from the Packers this year, but that's it. Disown themselves. I don't think the Vikings are going to be as good as people think. I know that's a I'm dying on the hill take, but I'm ready to die on that hill. I really don't think the Vikings are going to be what people think they're going to be, especially on offense. But yeah, I might die on that hill. We'll see. Zero Moss, yes. Zero Brown, no. It's just like I don't like the price. Like I just don't like the price of Chase Brown. I really don't. I really, really don't. And I'm not taking a lot of running backs in his kind of range. So I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. It might change, but we'll see how it shakes out. I don't like the hole I've put myself into in a couple spots, namely running back, but hopefully I can get through with my quarterbacks. Let's bring in Kyle Pitts. With Mark Andrews, I think that's fine. I think that can work. If I can get through week 5, then I should be okay. Should be, hopefully. Gesicki and Ertz go there. I think it's Quentin Johnston here. But I kind of mean I know. So let's go Quentin Johnston. One more. Oh, man. I don't like the position I put myself in running back wise. I really don't. I really, really don't. I can pretty much only bring in one more running back. Do I need another tight end? I don't know. Do I need another wide receiver? Yes, I do. So I need another wide receiver and I need another running back for sure of my 3 picks. Do I need another tight end? I don't know. Shake a stick at it. I'm not putting in the work, man. I could barely make fucking thumbnails over here. Like I can make thumbnails. I just don't like doing it. I just don't have the time to do it. And I don't like doing it because it's just a massive pain in the ass. And I just don't have a crazy amount of free time to like just make a bunch of thumbnails, to be honest. So I'm not making a clip. I'll tell you that. It's way too much. Way too much. No snipe. Just not a fan of T-Law. But a skinny stack. I mean, I like T-Law this year. I especially when you have a guy like Lamar, like you can more than get away with it, even if Trevor Lawrence isn't what we're hoping he could be, or hoping what he's supposed to turn into at some point in his career. Then you can still get away with it when you have an elite quarterback like Lamar up there. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not pleased with the position I put myself in running back wise. I'm really not pleased about that. So I'm going to have to kind of sacrifice somewhere, I feel like. I just don't know where or what. Ugh. I mean, I guess I have I kind of have to feel like I have a rushing touchdown every week with Hampton and Harris. Swift's a solid pick. He should make my lineup most weeks. But like Benson, I'm going to need an injury. Tank, it's going to revolve around Tank. This whole running back room, I guess, kind of revolves around Tank Bigsby. I probably would have taken Giddens, so that's a great click by Green Bean there. But yeah, it kind of revolves around Tank Bigsby and what he is and is going to be this year. If he's like the 1A, 1B type of situation, if he's the A side, then I should be in good shape. If he's even the B side, that's a little tougher to get away with. But we will see how that works out. Keenan Allen would have been a smash pick for me here, but he goes. That's okay. If Mason Taylor's there, I kind of just have to click him. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Let's go Taylor. And then I need to take a couple seconds here to figure out what I might do with my next pick. I don't know what I'm doing at running back here. It is not in the greatest position. I don't know what I want to do at running back. Do I take like an AJ Dillon? It's not crazy. I have to be mindful of bye weeks. Like bye week 9 makes a lot of sense. Bye week 10 makes a lot of sense. I could go Rashard Smith, but I don't like him in this structure, in this tournament at all. I guess Jerome Ford makes sense. Do I go Shipley? That's just all what it's 100% like injury contingency, injury upside. That's 100% all that click is with Shipley. Let's go Ford, I guess. I don't like that either, especially with Judy, but should hopefully be the passing down back a little bit. I don't like my running back spot at all. At all. I'd say go Ertz for tight end 3. Ertz has been gone for a while, I'm pretty sure. I believe Steve took him. Yeah, way back here. So I got Mason Taylor as my tight end 3, paired up with Fields. I don't mind that. Looks like a naked Josh Allen, which I'm actually completely fine with. I don't love my running backs, but it can work because of this Chargers situation. You know, Swift should be in a good spot, but if I get to week 5, hopefully I get to week 5, but if I do and Swift's obviously on a bye week, I'm going to be in tough. I'm going to need a massive like wide receiver 1 at least outing out of like Chase, something like that. We'll see how it goes. Estimate, I mean, I would like, I want to see, like, that probably would have been the click, but I don't particularly want to go week 12 either, because if I get to week 12, I am really going to want to advance. And if I have 3 guys sitting out and I've only got Swift, Bigsby, and Benson at running back, and I need 2 of them, could work out with an injury to Connor or something, then I'm in a good spot. But like, I really don't want to bet on that. Yeah, I would have taken Ford, but I already had 2 bye week 9s. That's fair. I really don't love Ford. I'm just super high on Judkins, and I think he plays the majority of downs, first, second, third down, just a workhorse back. I really think Judkins is going to be a beast in that offense. And then with Samson there, I still think it's Ford over Samson. I do personally. But I don't know. It's the correct click is really what it is. So let's just do that. Let's make the correct click. Love Taylor too. He's my tight end 3 in BBM exposure. Yeah, he's pretty high up there for me. I think I'm like 20 something percent. Let's check Mason Taylor. This is on all tournaments. So only 13. Wow. Only 13%. Oh, wait, that's Jonathan Taylor. Mason Taylor, 21. That makes more sense. 21.4% Mason Taylor. That makes way more sense. He's pretty highly exposed for me as well. Now, what do I want to do here? What bye weeks do I need to avoid? I'm actually wide open. Bye week 9 maybe, but not even the end of the world considering, but probably avoid bye week 9. Don't really need spike week guys. I mean, Elijah Moore could make some sense. Curtis Samuel, I guess, could make some sense as far. Maybe Xavier Restrepo wouldn't be the end of the world. I kind of like the Xavier Restrepo click. Wicks could make a lot of sense. Let's do one of these two, Wicks or Ray McLeod. Let's do Wicks. Let's do Wicks. Yeah, it was one or the other. Wicks or Ray. Let's do Wicks. I think that's a good click there. I'm not in love with this team, but it's not that bad. MVS, not a bad click. Not a bad click. I don't know if I love them in this structure, but still not the worst click, that's for sure. I like the Estimate click. Yeah, I mean, I love Estimate. Don't get me wrong. He's one of my highest owned running backs, 22% right now, Audric Estimate. It's just this whole J.K. Dobbins thing. I want to let it settle a little bit before I click him again. Mind you, even if Dobbins signs with the Broncos, Estimate does not come off my board. He does not. I still will be clicking Estimate, just nowhere near as much as 22% Estimate. Love Taylor too, but yeah, we read that one. Yeah, I think Ford in a limb is fine because I believe early is pretty safe. Maybe late in the year, Samson takes over. I agree with that, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Like if I can get through week 5 with DeAndre Swift, so that's kind of what I was doing there. My thought process. I think the Browns will take the hell out of RBs and piss us off. Yeah, I could see that. I just think Judkins will be like so much better than the other ones that he'll force their hand. You can't take him off the field. So that's kind of where I'm at. Browns always piss us off, no doubt. Gary Kubiak and MVS play hide the pickle. Something's going on there. Yeah. Well, I mean, MVS is good for a 3-catch, 80-yard, 2-touchdown game this year. Guaranteed MVS is getting one of those in that offense. So we finished up Josh Allen, Justin Fields. I mean, that's pretty bully. Like that's pretty strong. So that's going to help me out and lead me through hopefully most weeks, especially, week 1, help me advance out of this pod. Marion Hampton, DeAndre Swift, Najee Harris, Tank Bigsby, Trey Benson, Jerome Ford. It can work. I just don't love it. It's fairly shallow. I do like how I have the 2 Chargers running backs, but I wouldn't mind if I had someone ahead of Hampton a little stronger than Swift. If Jerome Ford was not on this team and I had another, 3rd round, 4th round, 2nd or 3rd round running back sort of situation, but obviously I wouldn't have, the Chase Josh Allen situation. Maybe instead of Garrett Wilson, that might have been a click like Chase Brown right here. Well, with Chase, I don't love it. So yeah, really it is what it is. It is what it is. I guess I could have pulled up Breece Hall. That might have been better. So like if I had Breece Hall, Hampton, Swift, Najee, and then another wide receiver instead of Ford, I think that would be a little more comfy, but it is what it is. Chase, Wilson, Williams, Judy, Kirk, Johnston, Wicks. That's strong enough. I like that. That can get me through. High ceiling, high floor. No real early bye weeks except for Kirk. So that'll definitely play. Mark Andrews, Pitts, and Taylor. That's quite strong as well. So really it's just this running back room, which that's always going to be how it is. You're going to have to sacrifice one room realistically in this structure, especially. So it is what it is. Let's move forward. Let's hope we have enough. I think we should have enough to advance, but let's jump into another one. We'll catch up on the chat quick, and then we'll jump into another one. I think Dobbins lands in Houston or Washington. I could see that. Let's jump in first, actually, because it might take a while to fill. Let's do another 30-second eliminator. We're jumping in right now. Waiting on 9, so tons of room. 30-second eliminator, not 20 seconds. Waiting on 8. Lands in Houston or Washington. I like that shout. Definitely Houston's a good shout right there. I like that shout, Disbanded. Houston for sure. I think that they need somebody. I really do. I really do. I don't mind that shout. Clint Kubiak, yeah. Yeah, Gary Kubiak's the dad. But either way, Houston makes sense. Not sold on Marks. I mean, I'm clicking Marks a fair amount because I don't like Mixon. So, and yeah, that's who I think might be the backup. Maybe Dameon Pierce is worth a click these days. That's the guy I'm going to look into a little bit more. Definitely definitely could be a solid click. I'm just really, I'm probably going to be 0% Mixon. Honestly, I'm there right now. Literally have not drafted him once. And that probably continues. Like ADP of 40 in this tournament, I guess it could make sense, but he's a bunch lower even in Best Ball Mania, and I'm still not clicking him. I can't get into it. I'm not, he's just so inefficient. And if he gets hurt, which he like is almost likely at this point, just a ton of tread ripped off those tires, and the inefficiency just, I don't know. I can't get around the inefficiency. That's the biggest problem. If he doesn't get extreme volume, then he is not a usable running back. Like that's how he's always been in his career. So I'm just happy he's not a Bengal anymore. And yeah, we'll see what happens this year. But I'm going to be pretty invested in the backup wide or running back position for Houston. Similar to how I was with the Chiefs last year, I was super invested in the backup running back for the Chiefs. I just didn't we didn't know it was going to be Kareem Hunt until it was like a little too late realistically. And that kind of killed me. But I was heavily invested in, who was it even last year? I had a little bit of Carson Steele, Deneric Prince. I was drafting a fair amount last year, and that did not work out one bit. So maybe that's the Woody Marks this year. Very possible. Kamani Vidal could be Woody Marks this year, right? But I just think like his pass catching prowess is too strong to ignore. And he's going to have a role as far as pass catching, third downs, that sort of a situation. 83 catches in college out as a running back is pretty ridiculous. That's pretty impressive. So I'm kind of banked in on that. Jeremy, welcome to the chat. I think this is the first time I've seen you. Appreciate you coming in. We're ripping a 30-second eliminator. So we're ripping eliminators tonight. And we're doing 30-second clocks if you want to jump in. If you're new to the channel, Jeremy, and earlier in the chat, Henry, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. We're on the road to 1K. We're moving through the summer, doing well. We'll be ripping drafts every other day for the most part. My wife reminded me I streamed every night this week, not all in my channel. Guested over on the Fantasy Football Garage with Candyman on Tuesday. Last night I was on with Pat on the Fantasy Dog Pound. Sunday I'll be on with BBG. Next Friday in a week I'll be on the Fanspeak Network with Meg. So yeah, we're out there. We're in the streets. We're ripping drafts all summer long. Hot best ball summer. The last free summer I get childless. So it's we got to take advantage of it. I haven't gotten out golfing enough, if I'm being honest. I need to work on my golf game a little more. I need to work on my swing, trying to get that handicap down. We finished third in the scramble. If anyone was listening and wondering how we finished in the scramble, we finished third. Others just sandbagged more than us. So, already been a subscriber. Appreciate you, man. Hit the like. Appreciate that. Have you been in the chat before? I don't know if I remember your name. Usually I remember everyone for the most part, but appreciate you coming in either way. A little bit of a different strategy with the eliminators tonight, but I really like this tournament. I just think it's so fun. I'm really hoping that I get to do like a bit of a pop-up stream, in December would be really cool because it's later in the season. So something like that would be sweet. November, December, a little pop-up stream, maybe have whoever I'm playing as a guest. That would be fun. That'd be a fun time. I can see a lot of that sort of situation happening this year with this tournament. It'll be good for content, I think, and good for some online, Twitter machine banter. But we'll see how that goes. Wait on 5. If we can fill a 30-second eliminator, maybe I'll put it out on the Twitter machine. See if anybody wants to jump in. 5. There we go. Put a little post on the Twitter machine. See if we can fill this sucker up. BBM, you're in. I'm sure I've dropped in a BBM. I'm the icon on Underdog. Is that your name? The icon? Is that your Underdog handle? BBM, I'm in. I got to slow down on my BBMs. Let's take a look. I got to catch up on my naming, but I'm at 32 already with a slow that's actually my last pick is I'm on the clock right now. So 33, that's a little ahead of fill rate, which I don't really want to be. So I need to slow down. They need to release something else. That's why I'm trying to get these, weekly winners. I'm at 12. Eliminator, I'm only at 8. I'm going to rip some sprints, stuff like that, slow myself down where I can still draft. So that's good. Yeah, the pug's full. Schnauzer, I'm finishing my 20th. I've got 50 puppies, 20 schnauzers, obviously fill that, and then 33 BBMs. Just a way too ahead of the game on BBM. I'd like to slow that down. So yeah, I'm using these other ancillary tournaments to do that. I'll obviously get my Greyhound in, but I want to push it as late as I can. 22% filled. So yeah, I'm going to push that as late as I can. And then hopefully something else gets launched soon enough. Where's the Superflex? Wow, that's not even half full yet. I guess it's 225,000 entries. So, okay. Waiting on 4. I got a few slows. Let's take a look at my BBM. I hate that team, so maybe not. Well, let's take a look at it while we're doing nothing over here. The icons for screen name. I'll keep an eye out for that one. I've never been in any live stream draft. Really? Have you actually not? That's smart. Keep some EV, man. That's really smart if you haven't. But told myself only 150 BBM and 150 DK. That's fair. So you're just doing the main tournament. You're just doing Best Ball Mania and the main DK tournament. If you are, that's fine. I like getting some reps into the other stuff. I draft late night and early morning. That's also smart. That's where you get a lot of crazy drafts. I like to draft late at night. I mean, late for me is even later on the East Coast. So like 10 o'clock my time is midnight on the East Coast, and that's where the majority of the population is in the world. So it's later for them. So hopefully, yeah, you tend to get some wildness in the late night streams. So I don't know. I don't hate that strat, man. That's a good strategy. We're waiting on 4 in the 30-second eliminator over here. I'm going to jump into this Best Ball Mania and see where we're at. Last pick. There's only 3 more picks to make. It's my last pick. Let's pull up BBM. What do I need to do? I need a wide receiver. That's for sure. Kind of a fun squad. Double Detroit bring back on the mini stack, JJ McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. I like the wide receiver room. I like the tight end room. I like running backs. Yeah, that's a solid team. But what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Definitely not to Slaw. He's out. We've got Marshawn Lloyd. I could still take Wicks here, but I don't think I need to go down that road. Let's do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm starting to come around on this, and I'm going to try to get, mind you, this doesn't work. I'm not going to go down that road. It's Xavier Restrepo is who I'm trying to get. If it's an 8 wide receiver build, then I'm going to mix in a little bit of Restrepo, but in 7 wide receiver builds, I don't think it makes a crazy amount of sense. Calvin Austin could be the guy. Wicks could be the guy. I think it just has to be Wicks. Even though I have Lloyd, that's fine. It's not the end of the world, obviously. Yeah, I'd rather avoid by week 8. Rather, if I had to or could. Could go Calvin Austin, I suppose. Weird spot. Felton, I guess, but I don't want to do that. I don't like that. I'm trying to start to mix in some of these, lesser owned guys that could really hit. Supposedly Devon Vele is having a really good OTA season so far. Restrepo down here as well. I kind of like. It's like the correct click is just Wicks here. So let's just do it. It's Wicks. It's the correct click to make. By week 5, definitely the highest floor down here and could have a nice ceiling. Third year wide receiver. Let's do it. Still waiting on 4 in the Eliminator. Yep, only the 2 big ones this year. I don't hate that. I personally, like, if you're doing like a lot of, like, I would honestly advocate, like, if you're doing like limited bankroll situation, then I would advocate for like maxing all the puppies. Like, it's $750 to max a puppy. It's $3,750 to max BBM. So it's like, it's $200,000 up top on a puppy. So I would max all 3 puppies. If that were my strategy, I would get more contests in, more reps in. Maybe it's a time thing. Maybe that's it. Cause it's a lot of fucking time to invest in especially with puppies that are kind of time boxed. Right. So, yeah, that's fine. I mean, whatever your strategy is, stick to it. I'm Mountain Time too. Disbanded. Yeah, we're in the same time zone. Alberta, Colorado, same. Heck, 90 plus. 90% of your drafts are live stream. Yeah, not leaving yourself much EV, that's for sure. Whenever I'm like just giving away EV when we're streaming. Vele and Austin, yeah, those are 2 not bad clicks there. My 2 guys from the big board. I don't mind that. It's just, yeah, I just think the correct click was Wicks there. I do want to mix in a little bit of that, but again, 8 wide receiver builds is where I want to take those onesie guys that I'm not like fully bought in on. Like, again, Restrepo, Calvin Austin, Vele, those are all guys that I'd rather take in an 8 wide receiver build. So, yeah. PPR Tyler, what's up, man? What's happening? Appreciate you coming in. Now I'd max the DK tournament because you get good dollar buyback on that. Yeah, I think they have a way better what's it called? Like I don't know, rewards program, I guess is what you want to call it. Like the rewards program for Underdog is horrid. It is fucking garbage. I think it's based off dollars now, right? And it's like, basically it's pushing people to max enter BBM because I think it's 3,750, which is the max enter for BBM. And then anything after that is where you start getting like rake back. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. You get the rake back on 3,750 or more, as far as I know. I don't know what it is on DK, but I mean, regardless, I'm just not doing it. It's a different strategy, which is fine. It's just like, I'm not like spreading out my bankroll between 2 platforms. I'm just not. I'm pretty bought in on Underdog and what I'm doing over there. My bankroll's over there. It's not massive, but like all my drafts over there. It's kind of like, max. I'd rather just continue down the path unless I like win a tournament. If I win a tournament, then yeah, I'll be drafting on drafters. I'll be drafting on fast draft. I'll be drafting pretty much everywhere if I have the bankroll for it. But with a relatively limited, like I probably have a more, runway than most, even though I'm losing 40% per tournament, but I probably have more runway. So I'm like, and I still don't have, enough dollars, enough of a bankroll to like max everything I would want to on Underdog. Mind you, most of the stuff is time too. It's like the puppies fill so friggin' fast that like it's really hard to max those tournaments. You really have to be grinding your drafts unless you're like autoing or using like a sidekick tool, but even that, you like got to be there to click the buttons. So, and I don't, I hand build everything. I draft everything like you see on here, like you see when I stream. That's how I draft all of my teams for the most part. Even the puppies, even the schnauzers, even the Dalmatians, the cheap ones. Like I just don't believe in burning money on purpose. Sometimes I'll burn money for fun or for whatever, like for the lulz for a bit. If I lose a bet, whatever, then yeah, I'll like put a match to some $5 buy-ins or something like that, or a $10 bill. But either way, talk through that enough. And it could overlay again for sure. Yeah, that could be good. I'm kind of wrapping up soon. I mean, I got one more draft. We'll save it. Like we need to have another night, a night. You know what I mean? One of these kind of nights, a boozy night, which I can't this weekend. Maybe we'll schedule something in for next weekend with a couple of the boys. I think we need to do that and have a fun one. Those streams usually do well and go off the rails and have a good time. But we'll set something up, that's for sure. In the last rounds, it seems all right. Word. I hold out for DK promos. That's fair. They have way better promos, man. Way better promos than Underdog. Underdog's pretty garbage. Like I max deposited on the when they did the last like deposit match or whatever it was. So I max deposited that. So I still got a decent amount of, money, but if they throw something together, I'm going to max it again. I'm going to max it every time, take advantage of it, get those free entries. So yeah, you got to take advantage of it when you can. The Gladiator program for Underdog needs a lot of work, get free entries, dollars, plenty of promos. Yeah, I know it's awful. You can always do worse, no doubt. I think we're talking about the Wix. Is that for BBM, Dave? I think that's for BBM. You're talking to get $300 back. If you do, that's all right. But it's just like free entries and stuff like that would be fun. Like $25 on 7 marathons, right? Like, so you want me to spend $90 to get 25 back? That's pretty weak, man. Yeah. Oh, this is on DK. Jeez. Yeah, that's crazy. I was like, man, that's not bad if Underdog does that. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, of course they don't. I don't know what it is on Underdog, but it's nowhere near as good, obviously. That's true, but the rooms are wild and they don't seem to cancel tournaments. So it seems a little kind of fucked up, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. Just may as well do a BBM. Yeah, we need to do this maybe next weekend. Keep that in mind next weekend. Let's hit the group chat. Let's see if the boys can do next weekend. Let's have a time, I think. Do I have any early picks for US Open? Not yet. No, I haven't done any work yet on it. I mean, I always think that Victor Hovland's live to win a US Open. I think his game just sets up so well to win a US Open. So Victor, Big Dick Vic would be on my short list for now. Who else? Just the bombers, man. Bomb and gouge. That's how you win a US Open. Bomb and gouge, make par. That's how you win a US Open. So if you're a bomber that can chip and putt, you're going to do well at the US Open. C Slave, what's happening, man? What up, man? First time commenter, got in this draft with you, saw there was one left, had to join. Appreciate that, man. At the 9, Colton Slavey. There we go. C Slave. Nice. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate you commenting. If you appreciate the content, hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Everyone should hit the like button, hopefully, if you like it. That's for DK's flagship. Gotcha. We're on the Steve's on my left again. Good times. Who do we got in this draft? We'll make our pick and then we'll see who we got in the draft here. Puka. Let's take Puka. Let's take Puka London, probably. I'm going to back myself into having no running backs again. Awesome. I don't think Achane is the better click in this structure. I think it would be Jonathan Taylor in this structure in the Eliminator over Achane, I think. Is this set to all? It's probably set to BBM, which I don't have any Achane, which I need to change. But let's go Jonathan Taylor. I just don't want to get boxed out. I don't want to get boxed out at running back again. I do love me some Drake London, but let's do that. Who do we got in the draft? We got Steve in the 11 spot. We got C Slave in the 9. Appreciate you coming in. We got JT Best Ball, I think, at the 7. I believe that's JT Best Ball. New collector. I don't think he's in the chat, but I've drafted this guy a lot. Definitely a good drafter. AA Cracked. He was in the draft previously, so maybe not in the chat. We got Frank in the 3 spot over here. Appreciate you coming in again. And Dave at the 1 hole. All right. Let's catch back up in the chat here. Yeah, that's wild, man. The promos are so good. They canceled on you. Wow, that's rare. Yeah, probably was. That makes sense. I know you don't like Marathon, but that promo is good. You got 24% of your money back. That's really good. Spend 105. 105 and get 25. I don't know. I mean, for a tournament that I don't want to play, like, yeah, I guess I wouldn't, like, I would do that. I would enter 7 BBMs to get a free one, obviously. Like, I would enter 7 sprints to get a free one, but not the marathon. They're clearly trying to focus on filling that, which I get. Pepper Tony, what's up, man? UD promos are hilarious. Cardio Club is like draft 50 BBMs, we're running at 1 BBM. Yeah, exactly, man. They need a lot of work. On that. Honestly, there's a few things happening with Underdog that, like, if someone came in with a really good platform, a really good, really bought into it, even if Underdog did it or drafters, if they started going that way, you got Fast Draft out there now, right? Like, if someone else came in and put together a solid, tournament and structure and platform, they could really pull from Underdog, but we'll see how that goes. I'm going to the tournament next Friday and Sunday. Nice. That's awesome. I'm super jealous of that. That's going to be really good. That'll be fun. The US Open is one of the funnest tournaments. Like, it's not high score. If you like golf, if you like good, tough golf, like if you like high scoring birdies, don't watch a US Open. You want to win a US Open. Like I said, bomb and gouge, make par. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you can win a US Open at 4 under, through 4 rounds. So it's a fun. I like the US Open a lot. The marathon was weak. Nobody likes that contest. I'd rather draft 4 BBMs than 7 marathons. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that. Pepper Tony. That's exactly kind of what I was getting at. Like, I'd rather just pay my own money for the BBMs than pay to draft the marathon and get 1. So yeah, it's brutal. We'll see what they do. Underdog is the best and they know it. It is, like, that's part of the problem. I agree, but they're kind of like, as soon as you get complacent like that, like, it just doesn't go well for your product. Like, name me a brand that knows they're the best and then they get complacent and they stay the best. Like, there's always competition. So I just don't like how complacent they're acting, because you're right. This is very true. And I'm over here saying I'm not going anywhere, because I'm not, unless another product comes out that, can compete realistically. And you're not wrong. Like, they are the best and they know it, and no one else can compete with them right now. But there's a lot of things going on that are pissing a lot of people off. Like there's a lot of things that they're just not being clear about. And I don't really want to get into it, but someone could come along, put out a better product and steal from BestBall or from Underdog, but we'll see. We will see how it goes. Yeah, no doubt. The Friday and the Sunday. That's like those are the best days to go to any golf tournament, but especially a major. Like obviously you're going to the final, and then the Friday cut day. So those are the best days. I definitely agree with that. I was hoping you'd pass on Taylor. Yeah, not this time, Steve. Not this time. You're not kidding me this time. That's awesome. First tournament you've gone to, and it's a major US Open. That's sick. Enjoy that. And the Friday and Sunday, those are like I said, those are the best days to go. Tune in next week. I'll be doing I definitely am doing golf content, not content. Sorry. I'm definitely doing my entries. I actually have like a nice little bankroll over on DK because I did well in the last golf tournament I played. I don't even remember what the fuck it was at this point. Might have been the Masters. Jeez, like I haven't played in a few weeks. It's just been so friggin' busy that I haven't even played my my DK golf DFS in like 3 weeks. So I will be this week for sure. It's a major. The prize pools are way up, so I definitely will be this week. Great final, definitely. It always is in a US Open. All the majors. Can't even disclose my UD story. Fair enough, man. It's probably Oh, new collector is in here. You need to catch the live stream, keep up good content in 20-second and 30-second eliminator. Appreciate you coming in, man. I gave you a shout. New collector, one of the better drafters that I've drafted with. So appreciate you coming in. What's your price, new collector? What's your price on Herzig's little game going on over there? Because you were a guy that caught my eye. I won't lie. You're a guy that caught my eye that I might throw into my lineup, which I have not made yet. We're definitely going JSN. Definitely going JSN. Do I just like bring up Alvin Kamara? I just don't want to be in running back hell again. Do I take Jalen Hurts? I don't think that makes sense. I don't want Devontae realistically with Puka. 2 week 8 buys. Yikes. Let's just go Mike Evans. It's a high enough floor and a high ceiling. So let's go Mike Evans. I love weekly winners format and drafting those types of teams when you got to hit the absolute nuts to make over $20 in a week, I feel like. Don't disagree. I had multiple 180 score teams last year and made not a G's. I like the weekly winners. Last year I didn't play it at all. 2 years ago I played like 10 and I didn't like win. I won like maybe $100 or something because I placed a couple weeks and I had 1 week where I was like, I don't know, top whatever. I almost made my money. I think I did. I think I made my money back in 1 week, but I only did like 10 or 15 of the weekly winners. So I'm going to get up to like 50 this year. I'm going to sink a little bit into the weekly winners. It's a fun little weekly sweat, but I don't disagree. Like there's how many entries are in that again? Like 100 and God knows how many. 186. Yeah. 186,000 entries, right? Like that's a little aggressive. So yeah, I think I finished. Yeah, it was like something like 500, no more, like top 100. Yeah, like something like that I finished last year. I think it was like top 100, top 200 maybe that I finished. So maybe it wasn't. I didn't get my money back because geez, that's like 10 entries even on that's $100. So you'd have to finish top 40. But I just like the different structure and strategy of it. I think there's an edge because people don't draft it the way that they should, in my opinion. So I think there's an advantage in the weekly winners due to weak drafters in that tournament. I got family outside of Pittsburgh, so I'm taking my dad to Father's Day to visit the family on Saturday. It worked out perfectly. That's awesome, man. Have fun on that. You're gonna have a good time. That's awesome. I'm loyal to them since they made things right if things go wrong. I mean, I haven't had any issues really, so I can't complain realistically. But I'm loyal to them, like Jeremy said earlier. Like they have the best product. It is what it is. Like I'm not an Underdog partner over here. I don't get paid anything to draft on Underdog. Matter of fact, I pay all my money obviously to draft on Underdog. So, but I'm also going to scrutinize them if they fuck up or they make bad decisions. Then I'm going to scrutinize them. Absolutely, I'm not a company man over here, so. Yeah, but I haven't had anything go wrong, fortunately for me. DK seems like they care more this year. Promo started early this year, but the draft rooms suck. Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with DK is like the draft rooms are so crazy. Like the super teams that I see on the Twitter machine, people posting their teams, it's just like, how in the world would you end up with that? Like, how is that possible? Mind you, like that could be a nice edge. If anything, I might be jumping in there next year in like the early pre-draft because I think matter of fact, like I know I have an edge in that. I really do. I had 2 finals teams in the big board last year. I know I have an edge in that tournament, so I should expand that into DraftKings next year, which I probably will. But we'll see. We'll see how I do this year. But yeah, you're not wrong. Like they definitely give way more promos and stuff like that. I think they see that the door is kind of ajar. You know what I mean? Like with Underdog, like they hear, they know, they see. So yeah, they're kind of going all in. Just got Derrick Henry at pick 20 in drafters. That's wild in drafters. I would think that he would be a bunch higher in drafters. No, yeah, I would think he would be way more valuable in drafters, but I guess I could be wrong. Yeah. Really? That's funny. I mean, the rooms are way sharper on Underdog than they are on DK. That's for damn sure. The draft rooms are exceptionally sharper in Underdog, in my opinion. I guess I could be wrong on that, but from what I see and what I hear, the draft rooms are way sharper on Underdog. Let's go Burrow. I'll take Joe Burrow here. And then man, I'm just gonna fall behind at running back, I guess. Let's go Pickens. It's Pickens or Waddle. It's Pickens or Waddle. Or Jennings. Jennings should have a relatively high floor, I feel like. Let's take Waddle. I feel like he has a higher floor, but obviously the big concern with anyone in Miami is the quarterback situation and if Tua's on the field or not. If Tua's on the field, Waddle should be great, should have a high floor. But if he's not, his floor is in the basement. I don't know if I'm on that list. Didn't Max BBM last year? Mini Schnauzer 5. Nice. Well done, man. Well done. I thought I saw your name in there, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you're not in there. I know I think they like automatically put a few people in, like El Gru, who won BBM last year. I don't think he's on Twitter even. I think he's pretty anonymous. No one knows who he is, but good for him. And I think he just got added to the list. Same thing with Fareed, I believe is his name, right? Fareed. He I don't know if he's really out on the streets too much. So I think he just got added. They just assume he would max enter again. So either way, appreciate you coming into the channel, man, and drafting with me. Appreciate that. Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. But again, like that's also why I might, this is all true, but that's why I might jump over there for the early, big board season, the pre NFL draft, contest. for a couple reasons. They're less likely to be canceled, and there's less likely for like super teams as far as like what we know, if that makes sense. Like right now, we know where everybody is. We know, where they've been drafted. We know their depth chart situation. We know all that. In the best pre-draft best ball season, in the big board season, we don't know that, right? So that I think is a massive edge for someone like me. So I think I should hop over there. I really do. And I think I will. But this is, I think, the first year that they've had those pre-draft best ball tournaments, I believe. So yeah, I just didn't really want to do it and spread out the bankroll. Like I had a full bankroll for all of my pre-draft best ball, all of it. So I didn't have to deposit at all. Right. So I just drafted on Underdog, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes this year. But if anything, that's what I'll do is go over there for the pre-draft best ball. Cause I think I have an edge on it. So yeah. El Gru won BBM 5. And then Fareed. So I don't know if they are really on Twitter though. Fareed won 4 and El Gru won Best Ball Mania 5. But I don't think they're really on Twitter. So I don't think that they added themselves to the list. You know what I mean? I think they just got added by Herzig, but I need to put together my roster. Mind you, you have till July 31st, so I'm not in a huge rush, but I will obviously be on that list. $7,300, pretty solid price. Pretty solid. I think there's guys below me that should be ahead of me. I'll tell you that much, but I think there's guys ahead of me that should be below me. So there you go. Below me, space, ... below me. You say that really fast and it comes out a little bit awkward. Falling behind at running back, which is what it is. In a good spot at quarterback, you know what I mean? Josh Allen hurts. That's pretty dangerous. Dirty P, what's up, man, bro? Those DK rooms, I maxed that version of Big Board in those early drafts. You were not guaranteed Burrow at the 2-3. Wow. I took Burrow one time at 2-3. Just got to get the stack one time. That's wild. He's going 2-3. I heard quarterbacks are pushed up, but that's almost not a bad thing, though. Like, if they are, then that kind of works. Like, Mason goes, geez, I'm getting crushed at running back. I think I take Laporta here. Maybe Hawkinson just because of the bye weeks. I'm going to need help on bye week 8. Maybe I just take Laporta here as well and say that gives me a pretty good edge at tight end, and I can also be done at tight end. That might be how I work it out in this room. I don't know if I hate that. I don't think I hate that strategy at all. Let's do that. Let's get myself a bit of value on Laporta. I can be done at tight end. Very high floor at tight end, and a good enough ceiling, and I can be done there. And that can be how I leverage off of this running back situation that I'm in. Like, it is what it is. I mean, if Steve didn't take Jordan Mason, that would have been a snap click for me. But with him gone, it's like, what do I do? I'm not taking Brian Robinson in this structure at all. Realistically, I'm not taking Jalen Warren in this structure at all. That's interesting. That's crazy. I know the quarterbacks are pushed up on DK, but that's aggressively high. But again, that could be looked at as an edge, especially if it's like a quality quarterback rookie class, like next year should be and 2 years ago was. So that could work. We'll see. Man, I've got to get in that thing. Meat Gaze, appreciate you, man. I never Meat Gazer's picture is fucking hilarious if you get it. That's a really, really, really funny avatar picture right there for Meat Gazer. If you get the reference, if you've seen the movie, if you know what we're talking about here, that's hilarious to me. Shout out Meat Gazer for that. That's fucking funny. I did not expect this room to be so RB friendly. Honestly, I'm glad I got Pacheco there, even though he might be kind of sketch. An eliminator ass pick. Definitely an eliminator ass pick. I mean, most of I'll say sharp eliminator rooms are definitely pulling up running backs for sure, which is why I pulled up Jonathan Taylor there. And I kind of still found myself in running back hell. Mind you, having Steve right here doesn't help me. Tony Pollard goes right before me. That probably would have been a click. Jordan Mason goes right. That definitely would have been a click. So this guy's taking some running backs here. But yeah, they definitely get pulled up. I'm surprised Burrow was there for me. I'm sure Steve would have taken him if you didn't have Daniels here. So I was surprised Burrow was there. That's an easy click. That's why you got to find a way to leverage away from it. Like if you get caught in it, which I am fully caught in a rough running back situation, I do have a nice piece in Taylor right there, but then you have to find a way to leverage off it. Like I did in the last one with, Josh Allen and Justin Fields. I'm doing that in the tight end room, and I can still bring in another quarterback and leverage that way. You just have to find a way to leverage off of it. Like I'm not going to just give in and draft. Like, I know you drafted Brian Robinson here, but I'm not going to draft Brian Robinson. I'm not going to draft Jaylen Warren just because they're running backs. Like I'm just not doing it because I don't think they're correct clicks in this eliminator structure. Mind you, I do think Brian Robinson would be a better click than Jaylen Warren in this structure. He's a fall into the end zone kind of guy, right? So I just don't think those clicks make sense. So if that happens to me, which it is right now happening to me, then I try to leverage off of it in a different way, like I just did with tight end, and I should be able to do with quarterback. And my wide receiver room's quality. So again, you have to sacrifice somewhere in these tournaments. You do in any tournament realistically, but you can get away with it more, in others. This is a 50% advance rate every week. So yeah, word salad there. Bunch of words to not say much. I would do it if you don't take him much. Burrow, Brian Robinson. Nice. I was going to take Laporta or Hawk. Yeah. I mean, I just word saladed there for a bit. Like you gotta leverage some way. And I think that's a way to do it. I feel like I did that. So Martin Tamaro, appreciate you coming in, man. Pretty sure that's the first time I've seen you in the chat. So thanks for coming in. I've had 7 1-1s at DK and he was never made it back to me at the 4-5 turn. Wow. 3 with a $3 and 4 the $20. That's the main contest, I believe. Yeah, I know they get pulled up. I know quarterbacks get pulled up, but the structure is different too, right? Like you get those bonus points, which is nice. I honestly don't understand I do understand it because I think it's exactly like their DFS structure, right? But I don't know. I haven't learned it, their best ball scoring structure, and I won't until I start playing tournaments over there, if I play tournaments over there. But that's wild. That's a little wild. He falls to the 6-7 turn in Underdog. But again, different structure. So I'd have to look at it. I think there's good late round running backs with high, low upside. Maybe be the year for 0 RB or at least hero RB. I am very much doing that in Best Ball Mania. I'm very, 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 very much bought in to 0 RB. We'll get into that in just a second here. I think it's definitely Tyrone Tracy. It is definitely Tyrone Tracy. And I think it's definitely Ramondre. It is definitely those clicks. Even though they're both weeks 14, that's fine. If I make it to week 14 and I'm still in it, I'll worry about it then. Like if I'm in this tournament in week 14, I'm pretty jacked up regardless. But I'll worry about it if that time comes. So I need running backs. Those are the best clicks on the board. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I was going to circle back on this. That's my strategy. I'm going to do, I'm probably going to have Billy Jones on soon. I really want to get him in and do some data stuff with structures and builds, roster construction, data, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. I want to get a stream going within the next week. So hopefully early next week, maybe Monday or something like that. Whenever Billy Jones has some time, I've got some data I want to talk about and some stuff I want to talk about. So I want to do that and get into it. But this is definitely my overarching strategy for sure, is like a hero RB type of a build, anchor RB, dual RB, stuff like that. Like 2 running backs through 10 rounds is kind of how I want to be building. I've been saying that all season so far, and I've stuck to it using Best Ball Overlay. Little promo, shout out Best Ball Overlay. That's what you see on the screen. I use Best Ball Overlay. If you want to, enjoy it, build a free account. The link is in the description for Best Ball Overlay. Promo code OTS if you do want to, purchase the Pro. It saves you 25% off or $10 off of your monthly subscription. But build this free account, man. It tracks ADPs for free. You can find ADP shifts. It's got the 7 days, got the 30 days. You can track it. Like it's a free tool. It's fantastic. It doesn't make sense to not go make a free account, honestly. And then if you want to pay for it, use promo code OTS. There you go. A little promo for the boys. You do get bonuses for 300 yards. Yeah, I know. It's exactly like the DFS. So I would have to dig into it if I want to get into the tournaments. I'd have to dig into it and make sure I understand it. Mind you, I do already. Again, it's the same as DFS. I would just have to build it into my rankings and best ball strategy, because you do it in DFS, but it's obviously a different game when we're talking best ball. Market is slowly letting Burrow ADP fall to 6-7. Definitely. That's what I've been saying all season, man, is I've been waiting. I've been waiting to push him. I don't want to get into it again, but I've been waiting, knowing that his ADP is it's going to slip. It's going to fall. So I've been waiting to push him to that 6-7 turn, the 72, 73 pick. And then, we'll, once it gets there, I'm going to start pushing him a lot more. Burrow falling to the 4-5 turn on DK is the equivalent of him falling to the 6-7 turn on Underdog. There you go. Okay. But I don't think his ADP is going to fall on DK, is it? Because it's going to fall. It's going to keep falling on Underdog, but I don't think it will on Underdog. Like him. Yeah. Y'all should make a free week of it, and then the people would be hooked. I'm just a partner, man. Or not a partner. Well, I have a promo code. That's about it. I have nothing to do with Best Ball Overlay besides that. It's all Pat. It's all the Fantasy Dog Pound and Josh. It's their thing. So yeah, he gives away all the time. If you're watching the channel, he'll give away a free month of Best Ball Overlay. So look out for that. If you draft in volume, I say all the time, you don't have to use Best Ball Overlay. I recommend it, but use an overlay. If you draft in volume, you are doing yourself a disservice by not using an overlay, in my opinion. I know Chess Liam doesn't use one. He just raw dogs it, but I think that people get a massive edge by using an overlay. And I do recommend Best Ball Overlay. I think it's a fantastic tool. We just the last episode before this one, we went over it. So check it out over there if you haven't yet. Now I might need 3 quarterbacks all of a sudden. Ray Davis probably would have been the click. Thanks, Steve. Just sniping some more. Let's just bring in Stroud. Let's bring in Stroud and let's bring in Burden. Take the value on Burden. And I need another quarterback, and I might bring in 3 quarterbacks on this one when I can only take 2 tight ends, which is kind of where I'm at right now. Let's take Stroud and Burden. I don't mind that. Yeah, I'm going to need a 3rd quarterback in this, I think. Yeah. Gotcha. What I hate about DK is that their mobile platform is not user friendly. Yeah, I know. I've heard that. Can't see the board. They don't show exposures, or maybe I just don't know how to navigate the mobile. No, I've heard that from everybody. The app is garbage, and the app on Underdog is fantastic. Mind you, you can't use overlays. So, I mean, depending on the tournament, I'll draft on my phone. Depending on tournament, if it's Best Ball Mania, I'm drafting all my Best Ball Manias on my computer with my preferred tools that I have. I have a few things that I like to use, not just the overlay. There is the overlay, but I have some things that I built myself, just little spreadsheets, just to remind myself about structure, which I am going to share on the stream that I do with Billy Jones in the next little bit. But I like to have it available because I'm trying to be very intentional with my Best Ball Manias. But yeah, the app is garbage. Disbanded doesn't use anything, but he knows it helps. Yeah. I mean, Chess, like I said, Chess Liam doesn't use anything either. So, and he's won Best Ball Mania. He's won $1 million more than once. I'm pretty sure. I think he won, or maybe 500 grand. But either way, he's won tournaments, and he doesn't use any kind of overlay. So, I guess it's possible, but I just think it's a massive edge. And yeah, like, it helps. It just helps you find gaps, man. Like, I just fully believe in it, in overlays. And especially if there's like the back end, like Best Ball Overlay just came out with the website where you can track things like that and track your structures, your roster constructions, all that kind of stuff. I just think it makes tons of sense. I do everything from mobile, also some overlays. A lot of people do. C-Slave sounds like he does. Strictly mobile, Raw Dogger, relying on screenshots with schedules. Fair enough, man. Like, I do that too when I draft, like, raw dog it on my phone, which I do, just not a crazy amount. I have the same thing. I got the screenshots and I just click back and forth and just wing it. Depending on the tournament, again, if it's Best Ball Mania, I do it on my computer, or like a $100, $250 or something like that, like a high stakes kind of tournament. Then I definitely do it on my computer. I just feel like I can lock in better. 2 screens, big screens, right? I can do more. I can have spreadsheets open, whatever. But if it's like puppies and stuff, like, yeah, fuck, I'll just raw dog it on my phone sometimes. But I do want to try that overlay if I win a big prize. I mean, it's $30, $30 a month. It's the price of 1 BBM a month, like with promo code OTS down there. So I say give it a shot for 1 month. Even, it's up to you. Do whatever you want to do. Raw dog it. I'm not going to like pressure anybody into doing anything or push it super duper hard. I just believe in it and I use it. But I'd be willing to bet that if somebody tried it, like Disbanded said earlier, is just like give a free month away, right? And people would be hooked. Like, I think if people tried it for a month, it'd be pretty hard to go back to not. Like, if I just didn't have an overlay starting today, I wouldn't be lost, but I wouldn't be happy about it. I'll say that. I wouldn't be happy about it. I really like having it, there. But it does kind of hurt with this Best Ball Jeopardy, man, with some of the questions. It's like, man, I rely on the overlays so much for a lot of these types of things that, like, I'm not as locked in as I could or should be on some of these Jeopardy questions. So the next time I'm on the Jeopardy, hopefully I'm playing someone I can just dust. We'll see. I hope I'm playing PPR Tyler. I'll tell you that much. If you're still in the chat, shout out. But he probably beat me too, man. I'm concerned. I think I'm going to get just dusted next time we do the Jeopardy, but we'll see. I might have to do like a study session or something like that. Don't want to get embarrassed. I don't think I'll embarrass myself, but don't want to get my ass kicked. Think I have to add a third quarterback. It's not completely 100% necessary, but I think I do. Done at tight end. I'm just going to call that good. I think that's a good approach. I think I did a good job of catching up at running back, actually. I'm pretty all right with this running back situation. Obviously, I need to add more to the room, but I feel pretty good about it. I think I can get away with what I'm doing. I'll take Benson here. Let's go Benson. Bye week 8 is really going to hurt. Because I'm going to bring in Sam Darnold as well. Pairs up with Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, so that's cool. Let's do that. Gets me a third. Benson works bye week wise. Now I'm done at tight end and quarterback. And I feel in a much better spot in my running back room than the last draft. I'm much more comfortable. My wide receivers, I think, are in a pretty good spot. Got some nice value on Burden, so that helps. Nice value at this point in the draft on JSN, even Nakua. So that all helps the the wide receiver room. Some nice value on Tracy. That helps. Benson, that helps. Yeah, this can work. This can work. Yeah. I don't know. We won't be drafting tomorrow, or I won't be streaming tomorrow. I got a busy weekend, which is kind of annoying. Usually I like to stream over the weekend at least one day. I won't be tomorrow for sure. Sunday, I am on with BBG. So there you go. Not on this channel, but I'll be on Best Ball Guy. Shout out Best Ball Guy. Go subscribe over there if you're not. I'll be on his channel, on his show, the weekly show he does on Sunday nights. I'll be on there this week. So that'll be a fun one. So wine's going down pretty smooth. I wouldn't score well enough to even earn a parting gift from Best Ball Jeopardy. I know nothing. It's hard, man. It is not easy. Like, shout out to Bruni. Shout out those guys. Like, it is not easy. It is fucking hard, those questions. So, yeah. And especially now that it's like bi-week math and like even like who they're playing week to week, like I'm way worse at memorizing matchups than I was before overlays. You know what I mean? Like before the overlays, like 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago, last year I had an overlay as well. And then this year I have one, but 2 years ago, I could name you every single team's week 17, no question, and most 16 and 15, most of them. I could name them off the top of my head. Now it's like, I don't even know. I mean, if I really got time to sit and think, I could probably do it for week 17. But man, even that, like I rely on the overlays so much for that sort of a thing. Like I know the games that I really want to focus on, but the games that I'm not playing a lot of, like that I'm not betting on, I don't know, man. Like New Orleans plays, I think, what is it, Tennessee? I think. Like I'm not picking a lot of New Orleans. So New Orleans, Tennessee, Cleveland's playing Pittsburgh. Yeah, there you go. Like Kamara, Tennessee. Okay, I got that one because I am doing a little bit of Kamara. But yeah, like the games that I'm not playing, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have to cram session it. Appreciate you, man. Number one thing for overlay is probably showing exposure while drafting. Definitely. When you're looking at ranked lists, it's hard not to click the same name over and over. Exactly. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Like evening out your exposures. Definitely, you can keep an eye on it, but definitely there's going to be gaps. Like I didn't know until just the last episode I did, 2 days ago or whatever. I didn't know that I didn't click. There was like 3. I think it was Derrick Henry, Achan, and someone else that I have zero exposure to in Best Ball Mania. And I do not want that. So that was really an eye-opener for me. And I wouldn't have done it unless I did that exercise and used the overlays. So, yeah, that's definitely a tool and a reason to use it. But if you know you have 20% of your 45th ranked player and 2% of your 46th ranked player, you can fix that. You definitely can. Exactly. Suck at Jeopardy, I'd imagine. Yeah, it's hard, man. It is fucking hard. Penix gets horny. Yeah, Penix, that's one of my more exposed games. The Falcons-Rams, definitely high on the Falcons this year, personally, very high. And a lot of the Rams, but the Falcons for sure. I never liked that show. I was always a Jeopardy fan myself. Got to know your week 17 mnemonics. Yeah, I know. I know. Turd bowl for the Steelers, no doubt. Alex Trebek's Canadian, so shout out Alex Trebek, Canadian kid. I know I do. I need to brush up on it. That's for sure. I probably will before my next Jeopardy experience. I have to like lock in on the week 17 matchups. Again, I could tell you most, but like I have a bit of like brain fart type stuff when it comes, like I need time to think about it. If you saw me and PPR Tyler playing like what's the word I'm looking for? Playing I guess like a little mini Jeopardy, like trivia. You know, his autistic brain works too quick for mine. Literally like 15 years older than the kid though, so that hurts my chances. It's a young man's game, you know. Let's go Keenan Allen here. That just makes too much sense. Keenan Allen, and I'm going to handcuff Jonathan Taylor. Let's go Keenan, and I'm going to handcuff Jonathan Taylor here. I think that is the prudent thing to do in this situation. Yeah. I still think I need 6 running backs and 7 wide receivers, I guess. That's what we're doing. 1 more of each, I think, and then we'll wrap it up. But yeah, I need to brush up over there. Yeah, I have over 20% Rice and BBM and 0 worthy. BBO would have helped me out there. Absolutely. Like, because they don't show up in your exposures. So like if you keep just like, again, that's why I didn't know I had 0 HN or 0 Henry without the overlay. Like I maybe just would have kept going down the rabbit hole. That's another reason why I have to slow the fuck down on my BBMs so I can like make sense of my exposures before it gets out of control. And I like 33 in is like, I'm already, you know, that's way ahead of fill rate. Like Phil's what, 18% right now, 16%. So I'm way ahead of fill rate, double basically fill rate. Maybe not double, but I'm way ahead of fill rate, which I do not want. And we're not even in training camp yet. Like we're not even in mandatory OTAs yet. Like if Terry McLaurin sits out, mandatory OTAs. If James Cook sits out, mandatory OTAs. We'll see what Kirk Cousins does in OTAs, right? Or mandatory minicamp, not OTAs, mandatory minicamp next week. Like that can shake up a lot of things. So injuries, there can be injuries at mandatory minicamp. Like, yeah, I just need to slow down. My big dog bags are packed to the gills. You maxed out the big dog or what? Good for you. Good for you, man. Shit will happen. Yeah. You can try to avoid it though, right? Or catch up. Like I can catch up on that, but with so many contests running, it's easy to think you're overweight a guy only to realize you haven't clicked him at all. Exactly. Like I'm probably overweight Caleb Johnson in I mean, you can use just your regular exposures for that because it'll tell your percent and then your dollars, right? Just on Underdog. But you can get that on Best Ball overlay as well, obviously. But it does show it just on Underdog. So you can see if you're like, you know, like last night, literally talking to Pat last night on Jarquez Hunter, I had 21%, 22%, basically 21, 22% Jarquez Hunter. He had 16% Jarquez Hunter, but he had more dollars than me. So there you go. There's something there. It's like, oh, I was clicking him some high, you know, biggest board, big board, bigger board, whatever, right? And I was taking a lot in just the big board. So there you go. It can kind of tell you there, but it's just worth knowing and keep an eye on for sure. Love the Giddens pick. Herbert is dust. Think he has a clear path playing time. JT is injury prone. Absolutely. I think Giddens is literally my highest drafted player. 28%. That's it. $333. But I just drafted him here again. So not my highest drafted player, but he's really high up there. I think he's my second highest running back, I believe. I agree with this sentiment. I'm very, very high on Giddens this year personally as that direct handcuff. Like he should be going. Like, what's the difference? And again, this is something I said, I think last night, but like, what's the difference between DJ Giddens and Tyler Algier? 3 rounds, I'll tell you that. But what's the difference as far as, contingency, injury upside? To me, nothing at all. So yeah. Or even like Braylon Allen. What's the difference between Braylon Allen and DJ Giddens? Maybe you could even say Trey Benson, Tyler Algier, besides like rounds of difference, right? And even like depending on how it shakes out, probably more than Blue, Bigsby, right? Like could have the potential of a Zach Charbonnet, but he goes in the friggin' 16th, 17th round. So yeah, I'm taking a ton of DJ Giddens personally. We're going to go one more of each. This might be it probably will be, even though I don't love it, I am going to do it. An Audric Estimate click. I don't love it, but it fits with my bye weeks. And as long as JK doesn't sign here, he's a fall into the end zone guy that I definitely still like. Let's go Tyler Lockett here. He makes the most sense. Matches up with my bye weeks. Early season type of guy. Could just legitimately be the second best wide receiver on that team all season after Ridley, obviously. So let's do Tyler Lockett. And we're wrapped up there. Yeah, I'm high. Oh, big dog, Derrick Henry. I got you. Big board. There we go. All good. We figured it out. We got there. Really like Kendry Miller this year, mainly meaning I'm out on Neil. I saw a minicamp video of the RBs doing elusive drills. They look like a snail out there. Yeah, I saw that as well. Looked fast, but he's the pits of RBs. He's just super injury prone. Like, mind you, like Dennis Allen, he's out of the grips of Dennis Allen, the dog, the doghouse of Dennis Allen just seems to absolutely hate Kendry Miller's fucking guts. So he's out of that doghouse now. But I mean, like I just needed to see something. We haven't really seen anything out of Kendry Miller that's encouraging in 2 years already. Like I can't do it, especially when, and to be honest, I should be not clicking Devin Neal as much as I am. I love Devin Neal's tape, 6.1%, nothing crazy, but I really don't even think I should be that high. I should probably be like 4, even less, 2 to 3% Devin Neal. It's just a bad team. Yeah, like Kamara could be traded, but I really don't think so as far as the contract is concerned. It's not a good contract. And I loved Devin Neal's tape. I really did. I didn't love his athletic profile after the combine and everything, but his tape was really, really, really good, really encouraging. Not that Kendry's wasn't, because his was too. It's just like I've seen 2 years of him and he hasn't done anything, and he's basically been injured the whole time. So I'm too concerned about Kendry. I don't think I've drafted him one time yet. No, I haven't yet. Not that I won't. It's just a guy, like, with situations like that, like I'm waiting till training camp. Like with there's a few guys in that vein where I was talking about it with Candyman on the Fantasy Football Garage the other night. He likes Emmanuel Wilson, which is fine. I like Marshawn Lloyd. He likes Marshawn Lloyd too. But we can wait until until training camp to see who shakes out. And they're never going to, unless there's an injury to Josh Jacobs or Kamara, right? Those other guys are never going to move. They're not going to move anywhere, right? So we can wait and see what happens and get some more information on those situations before we start clicking those names. So that's what I'm doing with Kendry Miller. That's what I'm doing with Emmanuel Wilson. I am still taking a fair amount of Lloyd because I really liked Lloyd last year and I still like him. Just hopefully doesn't get some bad luck. But Yeah, there's my take on that. What I would do with that situation is just wait till training camp opens. Training camp, not mandatory mini camp, proper training camp at the end of July, and see what shakes out from there. Because it's just never, the price is never going to change without injury. Disbanded likes Neil's going to prove himself, he says. He might. He could. I'm not familiar with Neil's games. So it's more of a baggage copium for me. Fair enough. Like I don't think I should be clicking him as much as I have him already, but he is a ball player. Like his tape is really good in my opinion. So there you go. I agree. I think those are more August type draftees if you want a smart drafter with your money. That's where I'm at with it. That's what I like to do with those situations. My Kamara bags are going to be heavy as fuck. People wish casting his demise for some reason. They always do. Anytime a running back gets old, except for Joe Mixon and James Conner, for some reason, those two aren't getting the hate that, Derrick Henry, Kamara now, guys like that fall into that vein. For some reason, they don't. But either way, yeah, for some reason, people are hating on Kamara. My bags are pretty packed too. So I like him. He's a good click for me. DK is like playing poker at a casino versus playing poker in a card room. I mean, that's the same for me here. We don't have card rooms. It's all casino in Canada, but I get what you're saying. The guy's just legit talking about Devin Neal, I'm sure. We ended up with a 3-6-7-2. Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold. That can definitely work. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I did need 3, so I'm good with the 3 quarterbacks there. Jonathan Taylor, Tyrone Tracy, Ramondre Stevenson, Trey Benson, DJ Giddens, Audric Estime. I like that too. I do like how I stacked up Indy. In the first one, I stacked up the Chargers. I like that. I think that makes a lot of sense in this tournament, in this structure. And then Tracy Stevenson, I like that. If I get to week 14, good luck to me. Hopefully Jonathan Taylor goes off, and I've already made some money. So if I make it to week 14 and I lose because of that, it is what it is. Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Luther Burden, Keenan Allen, Tyler Lockett. That can work. I mean, Tyler Lockett's obviously the weak link here, but you can definitely pop into my lineup, give me a higher kind of a floor. Hopefully week 8, he pops off, obviously. Is where I'll be shooting for. And then hopefully my tight ends can maybe make my flex once in a while, but TJ Hawkinson and Laporta hopefully gives me that edge and that 10-point boost at my tight end spot is the hope and pray on that one. Ironically, Kamara is the same draft class as Mixon and Connor, Aaron Jones, CMC as well. Yeah. Everybody's like, Aaron Jones is getting kind of kicked around for age a little bit, but none of these guys are realistically getting kicked around too much, except for Kamara. So yeah, just a bunch of old heads who keep balling, can't stop balling. Kamara said he wanted to play till he's like 40 or some shit like that. Like he said he wanted to play like long. He's like AP style, like Adrian Peterson just wants to play ball forever, sort of a thing. But we're going to get out of here for the night, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in. Hit that like button on the way out if you don't mind. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, hit that subscribe button. We won't be live tomorrow. I'll be back on Sunday night with Best Ball Guy over on his channel. Next week, I'm hoping to have Billy Jones on. I'm chatting with PPR Tyler. We'll get something in the works probably on his channel next week as well. Hopefully we'll have something on. Maybe I'll host it over here next weekend. We'll have a couple beers, have the boys on, have some fun with that. That's all I got for right now. Fan Speak on Friday. Next Friday, I'll be on the Fan Speak network as well. Just a packed schedule over here in these streets. I'll be in the Best Ball streets as always. But like we always say on Off the Schneid, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight we were right and we banked this eliminator. Have yourselves a great night. Have yourselves a great weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.